Hi guys! So I am back at Universal Studios Orlando and we are going to check out the new daytime HHN mazes. I am so excited about this. It looks like they're not going to have a virtual queue actually in the morning. You can actually just get in line, and that may change later on in the day, so we'll see. So hopefully it's not too busy today, and maybe possibly we'll get to go through the mazes twice, who knows? I'm really excited about this. Obviously, as a lot of you know, I've been a scare actor since 2010. So it was really sad that HHN didn't happen this year. So I'm really curious to see these mazes. It'll be nice to go through them, especially since they're not going to have the whole conga line thing that they usually have in past years. They're going to space people out and not have too many people go through the maze at once. So that'll be definitely interesting to see. Now, I won't be able to film the two mazes because in Orlando, for HHN, you're not allowed to film when you walk through. So obviously, out of respect for the mazes, I will not be filming, but I will definitely talk about the experience and tell everybody what I thought about the mazes, and that'll be a lot of fun. Here is the entrance to the Revenge of the Tooth Fairy maze. It opens at 10 o'clock, so we're gonna come back a little later. And we have warnings. Oh. I've missed this so much. I'm really excited to see this maze actually. Here it's pretty scary. And in previous years they've had a Tooth Fairy maze at Not Scary Farm, and that's a really fun maze too, so it'll be interesting to compare the two. It's been so long since I've seen the entrance to a maze. I mean, I guess it's only been a year, but it feels like so much longer, you know? And here we have the entrance to the Bride of Frankenstein Lives. And more warnings. I've missed reading these warnings. The experience inside this haunted house may be too intense for young children. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, they've confirmed that it's all standby today. So I don't think there's going to be a virtual queue at all. So I think we'll probably most likely go on the mazes twice, maybe even 3 times. I guess we'll see. All right, we're in line. As you can see, it's not very full right now, just yet. And I've been told this line hasn't been very busy because on the busy days, they just have a virtual queue. And when they don't have a virtual queue, it's because it's not a busy day. Oh my gosh, no line. I guess it paid to get here early, right, Mom? Yay!
We did it.
We'll see what the line looks like later. Do you think we'll be able to ride it a few times?
I do.
You do?
I'm planning on it.
It's possible we will be walking through these mazes all day long. Maybe we'll stop to get food and a drink.
Because we can.
We can. Look at this. And like I said, I'm not going to be able to film inside of the mazes out of respect for the maze, but I definitely will talk about it afterwards. And it'll be fun talking about it from a scare actor's perspective. Oh my gosh, I just got out of Bride of Frankenstein. If I weren't so tired, I would like cry. It was just so good to go through a maze again. Again, as a past scare actor at HHN for 9 years now, it's just so good to be in a maze again. Even if I'm not the one scaring, it was just so fun to walk through. I have a lot of things to say about the maze, but we just hopped in line for the Tooth Fairy maze, so we're waiting for that, and we just thought we'd chat just a little bit, right, Mom?
I'm impressed. They did a great job.
Yeah? What did you like about it?
I actually got scared.
You did?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, that was so much fun. But we'll talk more about it a little bit, and we're going to go through Tooth Fairy right now. So far, we haven't really waited in any of the lines yet, so I am guessing we will definitely go through these mazes a few times. So we just got out of the Tooth Fairy maze, which is super creepy. I have a lot to say about it later. And we thought we'd get back in line for Bride of Frankenstein and go through it again, because as you can see, there's nobody in the line. So here we go. I'm excited to go through these mazes a few times, because you definitely see things that you didn't see the first time. You know, there's just so much detail and planning that goes into these mazes. All right, we just got through the Bride of Frankenstein maze again, and now we're gonna go through Revenge of the Tooth Fairy again. And it looks like there's no line. Here's the entrance. So even though there's no virtual queue today, I definitely recommend coming here early because there's no line right now. I'm not sure what the lines are going to look like later on, but we're going to go through these mazes at least a few times. So we just walked through both mazes twice, and now we're really hungry and a little bit tired because we got up early, so we're going to look for a snack. Looks like we have some Franken fried chicken and funnel brains, stolen teeth street corn, and a few beers and some water. So we're gonna go for the Twisted Taters. We're super excited. This is a Halloween Horror Nights Orlando staple. We have twisted Franken coils with blood and guts, just twisted Franken coils, twisted tater with blood and guts, and a twisted tater with salt and vinegar and garlic and Parmesan. Oh, we're so excited on it. I don't even know which one to pick. So I guess the twisted Franken coils is like a hot dog with the tater, and the twisted Franken coils with blood and guts is a chili and cheese. Twisted tater with chili and cheese, that sounds good. And then we have, of course, the salt and vinegar and garlic Parmesan and all of that. Twisted tater with garlic Parmesan seasoning. Yum, these are really popular. All right, that was delicious. So now that we've had some twisted taters and we're sitting down, I am just gonna talk a little bit about the mazes. Okay, so first of all, the Bride of Frankenstein maze. First of all, the visual in that maze is amazing and spooky and full of horror, and it's awesome. I just wanted to just stay in the maze for a half hour and look at everything. So yeah, I think definitely between the two mazes, the Bride of Frankenstein maze wins as far as just visual effects, for sure. Secondly, the Bride of Frankenstein maze had some really awesome female character roles in it, I thought. As I've said a few times, I've worked as a scare actor over in Hollywood for the past 9 years. And to be honest, there's not always a lot of female scare actor roles. Or if there is, a lot of times it's like victim roles or something along those lines. But this maze had a lot of female roles where like you're scary, you're not just playing like the victim or like the pretty girl role, which I appreciated a lot. So I think that would be a really fun maze to be in. So there are definitely scare actors in the Bride of Frankenstein maze that have cloth masks on their face. But that didn't really bother me, to be honest, and I don't particularly feel like it took away from the scares. And also, speaking as a scare actor myself, I want my fellow scare actors to feel safe. So that didn't bother me, but you will see just a handful maybe of scare actors wearing cloth masks. So there's definitely plexiglass everywhere in the maze as a barrier between us and the scare actors. But honestly, I wasn't sure if that would bother me or not, because I kind of thought maybe you'd see plexiglass like coming up in the maze and you'd know a scare actor was going to pop out, so there wouldn't be an element of surprise. But here's the thing, is that there was plexiglass like everywhere, I thought. Even where there weren't scare actors that were popping out or, you know, scaring in the maze, they still had plexiglass. So that kind of throws you off and you're not really sure like where the scare actors will be or not. Like they had a really cool coffin scare where they had just a room where they had coffins and they had dummies in them, and some of them were dummies and some of them were scare actors, but all of them had plexiglass on them. So you weren't really sure which one was going to be the scare actor or not, so that still had that element of that scare in the maze. So I thought that was definitely a nice touch. Another thing with the plexiglass is it's really dark in the mazes, so you can't always even honestly see it. And also, it's probably good that there's a barrier between the guests and the scare actors, because honestly, it's safer for them. Speaking as a scare actor, there's honestly been a couple of times when I've scared a guest and then they kind of swung out at me and like hit me, and they didn't do it like on purpose, some of them, but it was just because people do crazy things when they're scared, and they act out just on an impulse when they're scared, and they do things like that. And obviously in 2020, that's probably not a good idea given the, you know, everyone needing to social distance. So I'm kind of glad that the plexiglass is there as a barrier, just to, you know, keep the scare actors safe. So yeah, I definitely think the Tooth Fairy maze was more of a scary maze. The group behind us, they were actually screaming the whole time. So some of the scare actors got them pretty good. So yeah, definitely it's super scary. And the Bride of Frankenstein, I would say, is more of a visually awesome maze, and that wins for just visual. So yeah, I think Universal definitely did some really good safety measures for these mazes, for sure. Another thing is that there's no conga line. That's a big thing for me, is that the conga lines, because if anyone has been to HHN, you know that there's always just like a constant conga line of people going through, and it gets really congested sometimes. And when it happens, like, you miss out on a scare sometimes because you're just kind of stopped in place and you see a scare happening in front of you, so the element of surprise isn't there. But for this, they were only letting in just small groups at a time and spacing everybody out. So you can kind of like walk through the maze and kind of like take your time when you're in the maze without feeling like you're being pushed through. And I thought that was a big deal. Because also the wait times for HHN are normally so long for the mazes that sometimes I kind of felt like I was being like pushed through really quickly, you know what I mean, by some of the maze hosts or whatnot. But this time I just felt like I could kind of take my time and see everything. So I thought that was definitely a plus. Also, and I know it has to be just a tiny bit difficult for the scare actors with the plexiglass and like maybe the cloth masks and all of that trying to be scary, but like the scare actors were like killing it. They were awesome. They had so much energy and they were just doing such a great job. Such a great job that I barely even mentioned the plexiglass. It must be a little frustrating not to be able to just kind of lean forward a little closer because of the plexiglass, and there's certain scares you can't do because of it, but like, wow, they were doing just such an amazing job. So like, great job, scare actors in Orlando. You're killing it. All right, Mom, what do you have to say about the two mazes?
Well, I'm not afraid to be afraid. I like a good scare. And I'm going to be honest with you and say both mazes, I was not at all put off by the plexiglass. For me, I thought they could push up right against it, and I thought it was just as scary. So
really?
For me, this was as good as it always is, my opinion.
Awesome. Well, that's definitely good to hear. Which maze did you like better?
They're so different that I can't say I like one more than the other.
Okay,
one
yeah.
for some things, the other for other things. Both really winners.
Totally, yeah, definitely. But anyway, I don't want to give too much away about the mazes. But it was just so good to go through those mazes again. It just kind of felt like home, because if you've worked the event, you know that Halloween Horror Nights does kind of become like your home and your family. Everybody there's just so tight-knit, and you're in a maze just for like 2 months, and you make new friends, and they all become just like your fam, you know? And the friendships that you make during the event is just what really makes it when you work as a scare actor. Because it is a grueling event. It's kind of like a marathon, honestly. You do like the late nights you have till like 3 a.m. most of the time I got home, and then I'd have to wake up the next day and just go back, and you know, it's kind of tiring and it's physically exhausting, but it's just so worth it. So yeah, like I said, it was just so great to be back in a maze again, and although it's kind of sad the actual event isn't happening this year, I do look forward to 2021 for sure. I think it's going to be awesome. All right, time to go on Bride of Frankenstein for the 3rd time. Hey friend, we meet again. So this is one of the scarecrows in the Scarecrow Stalk, which is like a scavenger hunt. It's really fun. Plus, it's just fun to see all the spooky scarecrows because they're all so cool looking and they're all different and unique. So basically, you just see a team member for a map, as shown here, and then you get a stamp in all the stores that have a scarecrow, and the little pamphlet looks like this. And when you get all the stamps, then I think you get a bag of candy maybe afterwards or something like that. So that sounds like a lot of fun. I don't know if I'll make it to all the scarecrows today, but I'm definitely gonna try and get a few of them. Ooh, we have another scarecrow. So I have another stamp for my card, and oh my gosh. He's spooky. He's one of my favorites. Look at that. That's so creepy. Wow. A lot of details gone into these scarecrows. Look at that. And FYI, this one is in the Bourne store. So we just saw the Bourne show, which was amazing. And this is in that store. So if you're looking for it, check it out. So here's what the Scarecrow Stalk little pamphlet looks like. And see, we already have a stamp and we're about to get another one. Let's see what the front looks like. See? Spooky. Yay! Looks like here's another scarecrow for the Scarecrow Stalk, so I can add another stamp to my card. This one looks like a mermaid, I think. A mermaid or a snake. But that's kind of cool. And this is over by the Hello Kitty store, just so everyone knows. All right, I think we have found the skeleton bar. This is kind of a spooky bar that's here during October, so let's check this out. Ooh. Look at this. This looks spooky. Creepy. It's kind of cool. I'm not sure exactly what they have open today because it's a weekday, but we will see. All right. Looks like it is open. So that's good news. Skeleton bar. What do we have here? We have mac and cheese, frozen candy corn, screaming s'more fries. Hello, how's it going? Shrimp cocktail. So the vegan mac looks good, and jackfruit pizza, and bloody charred skewer. And I've heard a lot of good things about the screaming s'mores fries, so that might be a fun thing to try. We'll see. Ooh, here's a display of a couple of things, the mac and cheese and pizza, and looks like that's the skewer, and look at those s'mores. So this is barbecue sauce on it, the pizza?
Yes,
and
cauliflower dough.
Ooh, that looks
So
really good.
vegetarian.
It's a vegetarian. That looks tasty for sure. And look at those s'mores. I bet those are really popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, look at this creepy jack-o'-lantern. And more pictures. I just love this so far. Thank you so much. Have a good day. All right. Oh, it's like another maze almost. Oh my gosh. Like literally it is. Oh, more creepy decorations. This is like the best bar that I've ever been to. And let's take a look at these drinks. Ooh, spooky. This is really neat, isn't it? Oh my gosh. He's creepy. So many things to see. And we haven't even looked at the drinks yet. Doing good. Just having a look at this menu here. Vampire Curse. Is that really good?
It is. It's
Nah.
like a rum punch.
Okay. Ooh, that sounds good. And then Mango Inferno. Is that spicy?
Very. It's
Very spicy.
It has a depth of spicy. You have to kick to it.
Oh my gosh. Which one do I choose?
The Lugaru is my favorite.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be $13.32.
Of course. So how do you pronounce that?
Lugaru is how I've been told.
Okay, so I'm gonna get the Lugaru and see how that tastes. No, don't take my drink, it's mine. You can't have it. Ooh, creepy angel and more skeletons. Ooh, a skeleton in a cage here. It's a lot of detail. Just going through this area is worth getting a drink. The drink looks really tasty, so we'll see how it tastes. All right, so I definitely recommend going to the skeleton bar just to walk through it, even if you don't want to get food or a drink, because the visual in there is just really awesome. And the food looked really good too. We're not hungry right now, so I didn't get anything, but I might come back maybe later, or if we come back to the park this week and I'll pick something out. For now, I'm just gonna try the loup-garou that I ordered. And this, I think it has some chamomile tea in it, and maybe some rum and a couple of things, so let's try it. Oh, I do like that actually. It's very refreshing. I can definitely taste the chamomile tea in it and a little bit of a kick, like maybe some rum. This is tasty. It's really refreshing. So I recommend this one. All right, so my mom tried the drink also. What did you think of it, Mom?
I actually surprisingly really liked it. It wasn't too strong, but had enough of a kick to it. And just kind of like a mango taste to it.
Oh yeah, I did taste mango.
Was surprised. I liked it a lot.
Really good, right? And really refreshing in this heat as well, I would say.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah, it's a little hot today. I've already finished half of this drink. And this was $13.32 with tax, just so everybody knows, and that's not including the tip. So I wouldn't say they're cheap drinks, but they're definitely really tasty. And the skeleton bar is, like I said, really fun to walk through. Here's another Scarecrow in the Men in Black store. I think he's my favorite one. He's like this alien creature with a pumpkin mask. This is really cool. There we go. I don't think we're gonna locate all 13 today, but it's just kind of cool to see them all. Looks like we have another stamp for our map, because here's another super spooky Scarecrow. And he's a mummy too, with a pumpkin head. Oh my gosh. This one's super creepy looking. Look at his hands, and oh, he's holding a skull. Oh my goodness. Oh no. And it looks like that Scarecrow was at the film vault, just so everybody knows. Look at this creepy Scarecrow in the Minion store. Step right up. It's like a candy one with a pumpkin face. Look at that. It's like two little unicorn pops, and oh my gosh. Looks like the stuffing in the Scarecrow is just candy. That's pretty awesome. Flowers. Yeah, this one's really cool. Again, it's at the Minion store. All right, this is the end of my video. It was so awesome to see the two mazes here in Universal Orlando. It really makes me wish we had them over at Universal in Hollywood for daytime operation hours after seeing all the safety guidelines here and all of that. But I'm glad I at least got to see the ones in Orlando, and I do look forward to seeing HHN 2021 next year for sure. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video and had a lot of fun, and I hope it was informative as to some of the new Halloween stuff that's at Universal Orlando. Stay spooky, stay awesome, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. I'll see you later.